No Man's Sky, the most controversial game and one of the most hated on games of all time, has maybe become one of the greatest games currently out right now. What's going on, guys? It is Jay Snake, and today I'm bringing you another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about the huge overhaul that came to No Man's Sky, a huge update, and it's apparently making the game one of the best on the market right now. Anyways, guys, before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on so you'll be notified every single time I do upload a new video. But with that being said, guys, let's get into this video. So, a little bit of background information. If you guys aren't familiar with what happened with No Man's Sky, basically it was an incredibly hyped up game. A lot of people were looking forward to it. It got a lot of pre-orders, and it really took everybody by surprise, because when the game actually ended up launching, it was a huge, and I can't emphasize this enough, it was a huge disappointment. It was a huge scummy scam kind of thing. It got so much controversy. It was covered on news channels. So many people returned the game. It was the game that had the most returns of all time. The game got so much hate, and it was because of scummy business practices, like to the likes of EA and Star Wars Battlefront 2, stuff like that. But even worse, a lack of content, just make the game overall boring, lies, stuff that was promised to be in the game was not actually in the game, and completely no transparency at all from the developers with the community. And it really caused the game to get hurt a lot. I mean a lot. Like this game, oh boy, this I can't think of any other game that has come even close to this game in terms of its infamy status. The game was supposed to be this really cool space survival adventure game where you play with your friends and you explore a randomly generated galaxy that was pretty much unlimited. There was no end, and it was endless hours of fun. But at the game's initial launch, that was the farthest thing from the truth. Now, I'm not gonna lie, over time, because this game came out 2 years ago, over the time of its life cycle, its still ongoing life cycle, it did receive some nice updates, such as the Atlas Rises, the Pathfinder, and the Foundation DLCs. They definitely did add a lot of the content that was supposed to be there that was lacking, and some, and I'm going to have to give them credit for that. But this new update that they just released, this is update 1.5, also known as Next, this is completely dwarfing all three of those updates. I mean, this is huge, guys. Huge. It adds so much content, so much missing content, and so much more content that we didn't even think was going to actually be in the game. Now, at least from the looks of it, it definitely seems like Hello Games has turned themselves around, has turned No Man's Sky around and their name as a brand. Now, the game update is adding a ton of new features, and I am actually going to be reading them for you. So to put it straightforward, essentially, the next update, also known as Update 1.5, will introduce a full multiplayer experience, near unlimited base building opportunities, a whole command of an entire freighter armada, and a complete graphical overhaul. And those are just the major things that it's actually adding. And this is actually the 2-year anniversary of No Man's Sky. And really, from the looks of it, this has definitely been in development for at least a year, if not a year and a half or more. So with the addition of multiplayer, guys, now you can team up with a small group of friends that you do know, and you can explore the universe with them, or you could just play with random people. Now, you're going to want to help your friends obviously stay alive, because there's going to be others doing the exact same, and you're going to have to actually fight other people if you want to survive. That's one of the big premises of this update. You can also fight as a pirate or a wingman in these awesome new space battles with friends and enemies. As for the planetary surface, now you can grow up to build communal bases with other people, farms, racetracks, and you can now share your creation with all players online. Now, obviously, explore the galaxy at your own pace, or you can progress together from the very start of the game and all the way through the end of the story. Now, you also can invite friends aboard your freighters, which is another cool thing that's being added. And there are now these challenging multiplayer missions from a new galactic commission station on your bridge. You can communicate with other players vocally using a headset, and obviously for PC users, they can use the / key to have a text chat. Now also, while wandering the galaxy solo, you can continue to experience chance encounters with these strange new floating orbs, with whatever that means. Now, one of the big things that people are talking about is how they're going to be actually re-engaging with the community. Now, soon after the release of No Man's Sky Next, which it has released already, they actually plan on having seasons of weekly content and community events. And these are actually going to be free for everyone, no microtransactions involved in any way, not even cosmetics. And if you take part in the community missions, you'll obviously unlock new rewards and new customization options. Now, launching alongside No Man's Sky Next, we will also be getting the Galactic Altis website. And this is essentially a website very similar to, if you guys actually play the DayZ mod, the DayZ map websites, but it essentially features points of interests in the No Man's Sky Elucid Galaxy, and will grow in functionality and expand over time, in part through, obviously, the community's feedback. Key regional HUDs are marked with discovery statistics and community events appearing soon. So essentially, it's like a statistics website. It's going to help with like looting and stuff, where to find stuff, where the most popular places are, stuff like that, the points of interest. And this is just something, it's going to be a nice tool to be playing the game alongside with. Obviously, this couldn't, I could be fine with this not coming alongside the No Man's Sky Next update. It's not something that's needed, but just the fact that it's there is going to help so much. It's going to give a lot of people, easier ways to research and actually not get frustrated just trying to do simple tasks. They're going to have this website, an official website from the developers themselves, on what they need to actually do to accomplish what they're trying to do. Now, there was also another overhaul with base building, and essentially now bases can be built anywhere on any planet. Obviously you can have an underwater base now, or you can have a high mountain base, and there are also hundreds upon hundreds of new base parts that have actually been added to unlock, more creative possibilities, more things to do, and more freedom. Teleporters have also been overhauled, and they can now be built anywhere on the planet surface. And the teleportation GUI menu has been reworked and overhauled just so it's more simple and easy to use. The complexity of bases and the size of bases are now changed so they can be much bigger, and they have been actually dramatically increased from what we saw before. Players can actually own multiple bases now, spread across regions, planets, or even star systems. And you can now sculpt the terrain around your base with the new and improved terrain manipulator. A third-person mode is also coming with No Man's Sky, and this goes for both, when you're on the ground and you're not in any vehicle, or also when you are in a vehicle. And the controls and everything are the same as well, so nothing's really changing. It's just essentially a third-person system coming. And I think one of the big reasons for this third-person system is one of the things I'm pretty excited about is now that they're going to be adding character customization. You can construct an appearance customizer in your base or your freighter to actually be able to personalize your appearance. You can play as different species. They are called a Gek, Vikan, Corvex, and just a Traveler / Anomaly. Obviously it's gonna have more lore behind it now, which is kind of nice. It's always nice for any single game. Always lore is nice, essentially. And it's gonna be cool. They're adding a ton of customization options, all the way from race to head to torso to armor to gloves to legs to boots to backpack. And each one of those little categories has a ton of different actual customization options. The freighters have also gotten enhancements, and you can now assemble and upgrade a fleet of frigates, each specialized to excel in combat, exploration, trade, industry, or support. And guys, I kid you not, out of everything they're adding, this is my most favorite thing. This is what I'm very excited to be delving into. I just love the whole idea. It looks cool, and I really like how it's not just going to be combat. You're going to have your trade ships, you're going to have like exploration ships, industry ships, support ships. It's just really cool. It's going to be just so sick. Like, you're going to have a fucking fleet of frigates, man. Just think about that. That's going to be sick. You can command your frigates from the bridge of your freighter to complete real-time fleet missions, which is kind of like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag ship missions that you can do when you would actually capture the ships and just have the whole ship join your essentially your pirate fucking crew, whatever you want to call it, I guess. But it's going to be similar to that. Really cool. So excited for this. So excited. Crafting and resources have also got their own overhaul, and basically all the core substances and resources have been reworked and rebalanced to increase consistency and realism. Planetary resources have been expanded with unique substances and items to find and refine based on the planet's biome, its weather, as well as its stellar classification. Deployable tech can now be picked up and carried inside of the player's inventory, and crafting is just overall incredibly more immersed and deep with the addition of buildable refiners, which convert raw substances into more valuable materials for constructing advanced products and base parts. Missions and the mission structure has just been overhauled as well. The opening section of the game has just been completely redone, and it introduces new story elements and an early taste of advanced gameplay features, as well as a new mission chain for players with bases. Envoys and space stations offer rewards now and tributes to high-ranking members of their guilds. Mission types have also been expanded with photography, feeding, freighter attack, freighter defense, archaeology, and specialized hunting missions are also now available. Really looking cool. A lot of different stuff you can actually do. But guys, the last feature I want to talk about out of the many more, trust me, there are a lot of things being added, but the last thing I want to talk about is the actual graphical enhancements. There has been a huge improvement in visuals, and it really brings just a ton of life to the planetary landscapes. You can experience a greater sense of planetary scale with massively improved draw distances. Deep improvements have been made to planetary terrain generation that create a more varied alien environment featuring higher mountains and more navigable cave systems. Planet surfaces now look a lot more interesting than they did before from orbit, and the universe is more diverse than it ever has been, with the color palette variety, dense forests and giant trees, and an abandoned and empty system. So basically like no structures, nothing. It's just like a nature planet essentially. Pretty much everything in the graphics department of the game has just been updated, ranging from the storms to the asteroid rings to just space visuals. It's everything, guys. And really, it is looking very, very promising. Now, the update came out, I think, 2 days as this video is going up, essentially. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to have this one come out, because I do keep them on a schedule. But this video came out a day before the recording of this video, and I think 2 days when you guys can actually see this video for the first time. So we don't exactly know if this is going to, revive the game, make it the really loved game that it was once supposed to be. And no one is really going to put so much money on it. Obviously, it looks amazing. It looks awesome. I am very excited. I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be grinding a ton of it over the next couple of weeks, hopefully. And I'm definitely planning on making a follow-up video to this, but I'm really, really hoping that the Hello Games got this right, got this update right. I'm really hoping it revives the game and a lot of people come back, because at first, everyone hated them. People wanted them to die. People were sending them death threats, everything. But now I really think that they understood the mistake they made, and they really turned it around, and they brought us something that it looks amazing. So hopefully, guys, this goes well. I do plan on making a follow-up video to this, so keep an eye out for that. I will tell you, how it's going, if it lived up to its hype, everything like that. But anyways, guys, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you do hit that like button and you're subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on. With that being said, peace.